The hallway smelled like disinfectant and cold coffee. A woman sat on a plastic chair, holding her stomach, watching doors close one by one. She had walked into the hospital on her own, steady but pale, hoping the pain would finally stop. 3 hours later, that same hallway would be sealed off, and an entire hospital wing would be shut down. What happened in between is what this story is about. It was a weekday morning at a large city hospital in the United States. A public hospital. Busy, understaffed, and already running behind. The emergency department was full of noise, footsteps, and quiet suffering. People waited. Staff moved fast. Decisions were made in minutes that could change lives for years. The woman was in her early 30s. She was black. She did not have health insurance. When she reached the intake desk, she explained that she felt severe abdominal pain and dizziness. She was scared, but calm. Her voice did not shake. She was not screaming for help. She believed that was enough. Her vital signs were taken within minutes. Her blood pressure was high. Her heart was racing. She rated her pain as 8 out of 10. Then came the routine question. "Do you have insurance?" She said no. The clerk typed something into the system. A small pause followed. The kind that feels longer when you are hurting. She was told to wait. She sat in a secondary seating area, away from the main emergency beds. It was quieter there. No monitors. No nurses nearby. Time passed slowly. Her pain did not. She leaned forward, pressing her arms against her stomach, breathing carefully, trying not to draw attention. More than an hour later, a nurse walked past and noticed her color. Pale skin, sweat on her forehead. The nurse asked if she was okay. The woman said she felt like she might pass out. The nurse sent a message asking if the patient should be checked again. No reply came back right away. A short time later, a decision was entered into the system. The woman was removed from the active waiting list. The note said her case was non-emergent and that coverage could not be verified. To the computer, it was a line of text. To her, it was the end of help. Security was called. An officer approached her and told her she would need to leave. Witnesses later said she asked if she could lie down first. She said the pain was getting worse. She was told the hospital could not admit her without verification and that she could come back later if things changed. She stood up. She walked toward the exit. Just outside the emergency entrance, her legs gave out. She collapsed onto the pavement. A stranger nearby called 911. An ambulance arrived within minutes. Paramedics checked her blood pressure. It was dangerously low. They saw signs of internal distress. They rushed her back through the same door she had just been escorted out of. This time, there were no questions about insurance. No forms, no waiting area. Imaging revealed the cause. She had a ruptured ectopic pregnancy. Internal bleeding. A condition that can turn fatal quickly if untreated. Doctors moved fast. She was taken straight into surgery, but there was something else. Tests showed she was carrying a rare, drug-resistant infection. She did not know she had it. No one could have known without testing. But now she had been sitting, waiting, moving through common spaces. Hospital infection control protocols were activated. Operating rooms were sealed. Staff movements were restricted. Within minutes, leadership made a decision few hospitals ever want to make. The entire surgical wing was shut down. Scheduled surgeries were canceled. Patients were rerouted. Families were told to wait or to leave. An entire section of the hospital went quiet, not because of an alarm, but because of a chain of decisions that began hours earlier. Later that day, the hospital confirmed the shutdown in a public statement. They described it as a precaution, an unexpected exposure risk. They did not name the patient. They did not describe the earlier events. Reporters began asking questions through public records requests. Parts of the internal incident report became known. It confirmed the diagnosis. It confirmed the infection. It also confirmed the timing of her removal from the waiting list. Security footage existed showing how long she had been seated and when she was escorted out. The footage was not released. Hospital officials said the woman was not denied emergency care. They said she had been evaluated and found stable at the time. They said staff followed protocol. Patient advocates disagreed. They said stability can change quickly and that's severe. Pain and dizziness should never be treated as routine. They pointed to emergency care laws that require hospitals to stabilize patients. Before asking about payment, laws written to make sure no one is turned away when minutes matter. A state health inquiry was opened within a day. It focused on procedures, not people, on systems, not names. The question was not who failed, but where the system bent. The woman survived the surgery. She spent days in intensive care. When she woke up, family members say she kept asking the same question. Why did they send me away? Doctors told her recovery would take time. They said the delay increased her risk of complications, but they stopped short of assigning blame. She has not returned to work. Her life is now measured in follow-up visits and healing. She was not the only one affected. More than a dozen patients had surgeries postponed because of the shutdown. Some were transferred to other hospitals. Others waited longer. All of them felt the ripple of one morning. Health experts say this case sits at the edge of policy and reality. On paper, emergency rooms are always open. In practice, they are under strain. Decisions are made fast, often by people juggling too many roles at once. One expert compared it to an airport runway. Planes are allowed to land at any time. But if staffing is thin and lights are dim, delays still happen. Not because the rules changed, but because reality intruded. What matters here is not just what happened to one woman. It is how fragile trust can be. How quickly a system designed to protect can feel like it is turned away. We know this much. A woman was asked to leave during the early stage of a medical emergency. She returned in crisis, and the consequences shut down an entire hospital wing. What we do not yet know is which factor mattered most: policy, pressure, human judgment, or all of them together. The investigation continues. Protocol changes are likely. Legal action is possible, but uncertain. Broader oversight could come if similar cases appear elsewhere. This story is not about villains or heroes. It is about moments when systems meet people and there is no room for error. About how silence in a hallway can echo far beyond its walls. All information in this report is based on hospital statements, public documents, and on their court interviews available at the time of writing. Investigations are ongoing and details may change as new findings emerge.